Okay, so let's unpack this. Picture the year 1820. You are just, an average person going about your day.
Right, just trying to survive.
Exactly. And statistically speaking, you can't read. You live in what we would now consider extreme poverty.
Yeah, you'd be constantly struggling just to secure enough calories to make it through the week.
Right. And perhaps the most defining thing of all is that you live in a world governed by this really rigid math. Like, if you somehow manage to acquire a tiny bit more wealth or land, it almost certainly means your neighbor just lost theirs.
It was an era defined entirely by a zero-sum economy. I mean, a world where growth was virtually non-existent.
Which is just so hard for us to wrap our heads around today.
It is, because for thousands of years, the living conditions of our ancestors barely changed at all. If an empire grew wealthier, it was usually because they, conquered another territory and forcefully extracted their resources.
So one person's gain was almost intrinsically tied to another's loss.
Exactly. It was a fixed pie.
Well, breaking out of that zero-sum reality is exactly what we're exploring today. So welcome to this deep dive into the source material.
Glad to be here diving into this with you.
We've got this massive stack of data and research in front of us from our World in data, which analyzes long-term global trends. And our mission for you today is to explore this framework known as the Great Escape.
Yeah, the Great Escape. It's such a compelling way to look at history.
It really is. We are looking at 4 major advances of human progress over the last 2 centuries. So that's health, education, wealth, and democratic well-being.
Right, we really want to understand the mechanics of how humanity managed to escape a past that was basically short, brutal, and dark.
And transition into this modern positive-sum world where the pie actually gets bigger.
And the overarching narrative of this data is that this transition wasn't driven by magic or, mere luck.
It wasn't just a happy accident.
No, not at all. It was driven by compounding innovations. We shifted from a world of extraction to a world of creation. But to understand that shift, we really have to look at the foundational layer of human existence.
Which is basic survival, right?
Exactly. Basic health and survival.
Because you simply cannot build a complex modern society if a massive portion of your population doesn't, well, live long enough to participate in it.
You really can't.
And the statistics from the sources on child mortality are just staggering. Like in the year 1800, more than 4 out of every 10 children died before their 5th birthday.
4 out of 10. Let that sink in.
Yeah, imagine every single time a child is born, a family is essentially flipping a coin for their survival.
And the thing is, the death of a child wasn't this rare, unimaginable tragedy back then. I mean, it was tragic, of course, but it was a common, fully expected part of the human experience.
Right. Parents routinely had to factor the loss of multiple children into their family planning.
Fast forward to today, and that global child mortality rate is less than 1 in 10.
It sits at around 4.3%.
Which is a complete revolution in survival. But, when we talk about this, there's this massive misconception that always pops up regarding life expectancy.
Oh yeah, the math skewing thing.
Right. People see that global life expectancy rose from about 46 years in 1950 to over 72 years today. But the immediate assumption is that life expectancy only doubled because child mortality fell.
Like they think the math is just being skewed by infant deaths, but that adults in the 1800s were all walking around at 80 years old, just like today.
Exactly. What's fascinating here is that the data completely dismantles that assumption. Survival increased drastically at all ages, not just in infancy.
Really? So it wasn't just babies surviving that pulled the average up?
Not at all. The sources provide a really clear longitudinal example here. So if you were a 5-year-old living in 1841...
Meaning you had already survived that brutal statistical coin flip of early childhood.
Right, exactly. Even having survived that, you could only expect to live to about 55. But today, a 5-year-old can expect to live to 82. We basically gained nearly 3 entire decades of life after childhood.
That is incredible. But when I see these massive leaps in life expectancy, my immediate cynical thought is that this is just like London, New York, and Tokyo pulling the global average up.
That's a super common reaction.
Right. Like, are the poorest regions actually seeing this, or is it just a statistical illusion created by wealthy nations?
Well, the health revolution is actually remarkably universal. According to the research, every single region in the world today.
Even the poorest.
Yes, including the absolute poorest areas on the globe. They all have a higher life expectancy today than the very richest region in the world did back in 1950.
Wait, really? The poorest parts of the globe today are doing better on life expectancy than the wealthiest places were just a few generations ago.
They are. It just highlights the sheer power of sharing knowledge. When medical breakthroughs happen, things like vaccines, understanding germ theory, or even just basic sanitation
They
techniques.
don't stay locked within borders.
Exactly. Public health knowledge is basically the ultimate positive sum game. When one country figures out how to eradicate smallpox, it benefits the entire human race.
So if you suddenly have a global population that is surviving past childhood and adults are living 3 decades longer, what happens next?
Well, millions of people actually have the time and energy to look up from mere survival. They can start investing in their minds.
Which brings us to the second escape, education.
Right. And here we see this profound inversion in human capability regarding literacy. In 1820, about 90% of the entire world could not read or write.
It was basically near universal illiteracy.
Yeah. But today, about 90% of the world can read and write.
See, here's where it gets really interesting to me. Because the mechanism behind that flip wasn't just some, sudden global desire to learn.
No, it was a fundamental change in the friction of sharing ideas.
Right. Before the printing press, producing a book was an agonizingly slow process. The sources note that it used to take a scribe roughly 8 months of daily, painstaking manual labor just to hand copy one single Bible.
8 months for one book.
Just one. It's like upgrading from a dial-up modem to a fiber optic network for human knowledge.
Books were elite luxuries, guarded by institutions and the ultra-wealthy. Because knowledge was hoarded, right? It was just so incredibly expensive to reproduce.
But the invention of the printing press changed the entire mathematical equation of human progress. It wasn't just about reading faster.
No, it created a compounding loop of knowledge.
Exactly. Before, a single copy of an engineering text might take a year to reproduce, meaning only one new person could learn from it. Suddenly, you print 1,000 copies in a week, and 1,000 minds are iterating on that exact same idea simultaneously.
And that compounding loop was the absolute non-negotiable requirement for the Industrial Revolution.
Because you need smart people to run complex machines.
Right. We tend to think of the Industrial Revolution purely in terms of steam engines and factories. But you cannot develop, build, or safely operate heavy machinery with an illiterate public.
That makes total sense.
Economic growth at that scale requires translating abstract insights into physical improvements. You need blueprints that can be read by a foreman, you need detailed ledgers, mass communication across supply chains.
So the modern physical world was built entirely by better brains utilizing better tools.
Completely.
And when you combine millions of newly educated brains with the compounding knowledge of the printing press, you get a massive explosion in economic output. Which brings us to our third escape, wealth.
Yes. And again, we really have to establish the baseline of the past here.
Right. 200 years ago, 75% of humanity, so 3 out of every 4 people on Earth, lived in extreme poverty.
And extreme poverty means you are entirely unable to afford basic shelter, basic nutrition, or heating. It is just a life of constant grinding deprivation.
But today, that number is less than 10%.
Which is why we have to deeply examine the engine of that progress. Moving from a zero-sum world to a positive-sum world required a massive, sustained explosion in productivity. We basically figured out how to produce significantly more output for every single hour of human labor. And a huge driver of that productivity was the evolution of global trade.
Okay, so how does that actually work in practice? I think we all grasp the basic concept of trading something I have for something you have, but how does that system evolve to lift billions out of extreme poverty?
Well, it comes down to specialization and friction. During the first wave of globalization, trade was mostly what economists call inter-industry trade.
Meaning between entirely different industries.
Yeah, countries exchanged entirely distinct items because the friction of transportation was still pretty high. So, for example, 19th century England trading their heavy manufactured machines for raw Australian wool.
I make the metal stuff, you grow the fluffy stuff.
Exactly. It's a simple exchange of distinct capabilities,
Right.
but as transaction and shipping costs plummeted.
Thanks to, like, better shipping containers and communication networks.
Right, and logistics. We shifted to complex intra-industry trade. And this is where the real wealth creation happens. Today, a country like France both imports and exports highly specialized machine parts to and from Germany.
So instead of France trying to build an entire complex machine from scratch, maybe they just manufacture the world's absolute best fuel injectors, and Germany makes the transmissions.
You've got it. And because France is only focusing its entire industrial might on fuel injectors, they can produce millions of them at a fraction of the cost.
Reaping massive economies of scale.
Exactly. They become incredibly cheap for everyone. This hyper-specialized supply chain means we produce infinitely more goods at far higher quality, drastically faster than ever before. It increases the total size of the economic pie.
But wait, if we're producing all this wealth and the global population is exploding over the last 2 centuries, shouldn't we have run out of resources?
Ah, you mean the food supply?
Yeah, specifically food. Historically, didn't economists believe that mass starvation was simply an inevitable mathematical certainty?
They did. Thomas Malthus famously predicted exactly that. The Malthusian trap proposed that human population growth would always inherently outpace our ability to produce food.
Leading to inevitable catastrophic checks on the population through famine.
Right. And for the vast majority of human history, his theory held up perfectly. Famines were a constant, devastating, naturally occurring reality.
But the data on modern famines tells a completely different story.
It does. The breaking of the Malthusian trap is one of the greatest unheralded triumphs in these sources. Deadly famines have just plummeted.
How did we break it?
Through a combination of applied sciences, we saw massive increases in crop yields via synthetic fertilizers and agricultural science. Plus, better sanitation prevented mass disease in crops and humans.
And I imagine those robust global trade networks we just discussed help too.
Absolutely. They can instantly move massive surpluses of food from one hemisphere to another where it's needed.
So if a population is starving today, it's not because the Earth has hit some natural limit on calorie production.
No, the famines that occur today are entirely man-made. They are almost universally driven by political conflict, active warfare, or authoritarian regimes intentionally blocking food supplies. We generate more than enough calories to feed the globe.
The remaining barriers are entirely political,
Exactly.
which perfectly bridges us directly to the next major shift. Because if you have a population that isn't starving, they're living decades longer, and they're highly educated.
They aren't going to accept being treated as mere subjects.
Right. They start looking around and demanding a voice in how their society operates. And this is the fourth escape, the expansion of democratic well-being and freedom.
2 centuries ago, the concept of democratic rights was virtually non-existent for the vast majority of people on Earth. The political structure was entirely top-down.
But today, billions of people live in democracies.
And this shift isn't just an abstract political victory. If we connect this to the bigger picture, the sources show a deep, measurable connection between political voice and actual human happiness.
Let's talk about the data on happiness, actually, because I've heard of the Easterlin paradox.
Ah!
The idea that once a country hits a certain level of basic wealth, getting richer doesn't actually make the population any happier. Does the data actually support the idea that more money and freedom just lead the same amount of misery?
Well, the Easterlin paradox was highly influential for a long time. It was based on observations from the 1970s, specifically looking at nations like the United States and Japan.
And what did it find?
The initial findings showed exactly what you described. Japan was experiencing spectacular, historic economic growth post-war, but the national surveys tracking happiness appeared completely flat.
So how does the new research in our sources address that?
It dives deep into the actual methodology of those old surveys, and it uncovers a massive flaw. The researchers found that the survey questions asking the Japanese public about their life satisfaction literally changed multiple times over the decades.
Wait, really?
Yeah. In one period, they asked a basic question like, "Are you satisfied with your life?" But a decade later, the translation and phrasing shifted closer to, "Are you perfectly and completely satisfied with every aspect of your life?"
Well, you completely warp the data if you change the stringency of the question mid-survey.
It was a fundamental mismeasurement. When modern researchers went back and split the data strictly into subperiods where the specific survey questions remained constant, the paradox vanished completely.
So the correlation between GDP growth and happiness in Japan was clearly positive.
Yes, clearly positive. Now, human beings absolutely experience hedonic adaptation. We get used to new comforts. But overall, the data definitively proves that sustained gains in health, wealth, and self-determination drastically boost life satisfaction.
So what does this all mean? We have this incredible data-backed narrative of billions gaining democratic rights, wealth, and freedom. But the sources highlight a startling contradiction here that we absolutely have to talk about.
The democratic paradox.
Yes. Even though a massive percentage of the global population now lives in a democracy, the absolute raw number of people living without democratic rights today is actually higher than at any point in human history.
I know, it sounds mathematically impossible at first glance, but it comes down to sheer demographics and the uneven pace of political reform.
The global population just grew faster than democratic institutions were able to solidify and spread.
Exactly. Proportionally, you have a vastly better chance of living in a democracy today than in 1820. But if you just count the raw number of individual human beings currently living under autocratic rule, that specific number has never been larger.
And the sources point to recent global events that heavily exacerbate this, right?
Yeah, for instance, when India was recently reclassified by prominent political researchers from an electoral democracy to an electoral autocracy.
Because India has a population of over 1.4 billion people, that single political reclassification instantly meant a massive statistical rollback in global political rights.
Right, a huge portion of humanity's statistically shifted categories overnight.
That is a very cold shower. And honestly, it serves as the perfect transition into the final segment of our deep dive. Because while we've spent our time so far tracking this incredible great escape, and it is a miracle, make no mistake, we cannot sit here with rose-colored glasses on.
The escape is far from complete, and the data absolutely does not allow for complacency.
I want to speak directly to you listening right now. There are still millions of people trapped by the old mathematics of survival. Let's look at health again. Yes, child mortality plummeted globally. But despite that incredible progress, 5 million children under the age of 5 still die every single year.
To ground that abstract number in reality, that means 10 children are dying every single minute.
While we've been talking, that number just keeps ticking up. And basic needs. 1 in 4 people worldwide still lacks reliable access to safe drinking water.
We also have to critically examine the definitions of poverty that institutions use to measure progress.
Right, because we celebrated the massive drop in extreme poverty earlier, which is officially defined as living on $2.15 a day.
But that is an incredibly low, almost brutal bar to set. It essentially just measures who is hovering on the absolute brink of starvation.
So what happens if we raise that bar? What if we define poverty not by bare scraping survival, but by the poverty line used in high-income countries, which sits at about $30 a day?
If we use that metric, the data reveals a completely different, highly sobering world. At $30 a day, a staggering 84% of the global population still lives in poverty.
84%.
This raises an important question about how we fundamentally approach global economics moving forward. Economic stagnation in the world's poorest countries remains one of the greatest crises of our era.
And there's this persistent popular idea that we can fix global poverty simply through redistribution.
That we just need to take the immense wealth that already exists in the world and divide it up more equally.
It's a very intuitive thought, you know? If some nations have massive surpluses and others are starving, reducing inequality seems like the entire solution.
Reducing global inequality is absolutely vital, but the data proves that redistribution alone is mathematically insufficient to solve the baseline problem.
The sources use the nation Madagascar to illustrate this perfectly, don't they?
They do. Madagascar has a relatively small total economic output, but very high inequality.
Yeah.
If you magically took all the income generated in Madagascar and distributed it perfectly equally among every single citizen.
With zero inequality whatsoever.
Right, zero inequality, every person would still only live on about $1.60 a day.
Wow. So even with perfect equality, the entire country remains trapped in extreme poverty.
Because the underlying issue isn't just how the pie is sliced. It's that the pie itself is simply too small.
These regions fundamentally require actual, sustained economic growth.
They need the engine of productivity, education, and integration into those complex global trade networks we discussed to increase the total size of their economy. Redistribution manages the symptoms. Wealth creation cures the disease.
We've gone on quite a journey today through this data. We've explored how humanity achieved a literal miracle over the last 2 centuries. We busted out of a zero-sum nightmare where living meant someone else dying.
And we transitioned into a positive-sum world where life expectancy doubled, where 90% of us can read. Extreme poverty plummeted from 75% to under 10%, and billions found a political voice.
And yet, as the data forces us to acknowledge, all three of the following statements are completely true at the exact same time. The world is much better. The world is awful. And the world can be much better.
Better, awful, and capable of being much better. All true at once.
I want to leave you with a final thought to mull over. We talked about how the great escape of the last 200 years was driven by compounding human choices. It was generations of people deciding to invest in medical research, to build printing presses, to design complex trade routes, and to demand democratic institutions.
So the question is, what's next?
Exactly. What specific choice or investment can you champion today? What mechanism of progress can you support to ensure that the 84% of the world still waiting for their escape finally gets it?
The tools to build a positive-sum world already exist. We just have to ensure everyone has access to them.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the data. Keep questioning, keep learning, and we'll see you next time.